She is a student at Holy Rosary and loves all things books. In fact, her presentation today is inspired by the novel The Little Prince.
Here is Junwoo with a single rose or a little water. Please give her a round of applause as we welcome her onto the stage.
People where you live grow 5,000 roses in one garden, and yet they don't find what they're looking for. And yet what they're looking for could be found in a single rose or a little water. When you die, what are you going to leave behind? How are you going to do something great with your life? As humans, we create incredible works of art and technology. We take stars out of the sky only to replace them with our own. But what is it that actually makes us so special? As to have our own names and have a day each year dedicated to us. What separates us as a species from the ants we walk above and the pets we keep in our homes? I believe the answer is empathy. We have so much power in empathy, in how we choose to give it to others, and in how we hold it back from others. Empathy is something easily found on the playground and in a first grade classroom. It's oftentimes second nature to us in our childhood. I was born in China, and I moved to Canada when I was 4. Since then, I've moved 6 times and changed schools 8 times. I love the feeling of starting fresh, new faces to meet and new places to see. But in grade 5, I hit this wall. I just recently moved to a small city, Grand Prairie, and I realized for the first time that nobody liked me. I never struggled making friends before then. I'd never been on the outside before. Empathy is oftentimes something we forget as we get older. I used to think that the most important thing in life was to leave something behind when you die, to do something with yourself, something that will far outlive you. For Einstein, that was his theory of special relativity. For many parents, it's their kids. But I have created the perfect formula that will help you do something great with your life. It's an easy 5-step process I call How to Do Something Great with Your Life. Step 1, have a dream, a goal in mind that you want to achieve. It could be a business, a social status, a life-sized replica of your best friend's penis made entirely of macaroni. It could be anything. Step 2, make a plan, write it out on a piece of paper. Envision that end goal, that thing you want to achieve. Step 3, work at it. Work hard, don't eat, don't sleep, don't take regular bathroom breaks, because this thing that you're trying to achieve is your legacy. It's what gives your life meaning. Step 3.5, you're running into some issues. Maybe you don't have enough spare time. Maybe you're losing motivation. Suddenly, you're not rushing to work on it. Whenever you have a moment to spare, you start dreading, looking, or even thinking about that goddamn project. Why did you ever think it was a good idea? How were you ever stupid enough to believe it was something you could achieve? You're not even sure if it's something you want anymore. You can see it so clearly now. You could have been so much happier if you just gone down a different path. Step 4, finally achieve that thing you wanted. Eventually, you reach your goal. Your macaroni masterpiece has been realized. After all, in order to shit fire, one must first chew glass. You've done hard things, and it was all worth it. Step 5, be happy, be fulfilled, rest in peace, knowing that you have done something great with your life, and that you were everything you ever wanted to be. except that you're not. I'm not. Still just the same person with another achievement tucked under your belt and a wider set of skills. For a while, I forgot to show myself empathy. Empathy without boundaries is self-destructive, but living in a cold, hard mind palace made with walls of marbled self-discipline and criticism and never living up to your own standards is like shooting yourself up with liquid joy killer. Empathy is not easy. It's hard. It takes practice. Empathy is not a well-renowned sport. When you practice empathy, no one will come to your tournaments and cheer you on. But empathy is perhaps one of the most important aspects to being human. In the post-apocalyptic land within the book, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, Harlan Ellison writes about a man living with 4 other people. People he doesn't care about. People he believes to hate him at times. Despite this, the guy in the story shows the other 4 the greatest act of empathy he could. He helps the other 4 escape. And in doing so, he forgoes his own chance of escaping. There is a reason humanity is a word used for describing acts of kindness, charity, and compassion. Be empathetic, even though it so often goes unnoticed. Show empathy to others. Show empathy to yourself. Even though you've never won a Nobel Prize, even though all the great ideas have already been had, even if you never do anything great with your life, you can still choose to be a great person. People where you live grow 5,000 roses in one garden, and yet they don't find what they're looking for. And yet what they're looking for could be found in a single rose or a little water.